Hey Scotty, how you doing?
Doing well, Chris. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Can you just talk about the challenge that John Morant presents now in his second year?
He's a problem. He's definitely as dynamic as any of the point guards in this league. Gets to the paint, puts so much pressure on you in transition. Good shooter, drives either way. He just has this interesting finish around the rim, like the little finger roll, kind of gets it off before the big can help out and contest it. He's a terrific talent. And from what I see and read, and he's obviously a great young leader for their team. And he's the head of the snake that we have to make sure that we can get back in transition and bottle him up as best that we can.
Brett, Scott, I'm going to shock you right now and ask
Yeah,
you
same starters.
Sam starters. I don't know if you can comment on it yet, but the news about two-way, the change with two-way contracts this year, does that affect at all the way that you? I mean, I know you're starting him already, but does that give you any more kind of leeway in just being able to use Garrison and not have to worry about limit any of that?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't real concerned with it recently in the beginning of the year. Yeah, that was a little bit of because we had 22 other games that we had to manage there, but now it's great. I mean, it's great for the players. Anytime you can put something that's going to benefit opportunity for players, I'm all for it. Uh, guys like Garrison has earned this opportunity, and through the hard work and grit and determination and all the great characteristics that it takes to make it in the role that he has, or not being drafted. But it definitely, I think it's great. I don't know if it's official yet, but I hope it is.
Chase?
Scott, what's it like? What's it been like this year as you guys try to continue with player development of guys who aren't in your rotation, considering the limitations on practice and shoot arounds?
Well, I think that our performance team, our assistant coaches do a great job of keeping guys engaged and playing on all off days before games and playing 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and even if you have coaches, throwing a couple of coaches in there to get 4-on-4. Sometimes on the road, 5-on-5 with more coaches, full court. And you have to do it. I mean, you can't just say, we're not practicing, because it's hard to practice. Like, especially, the last month we wanted games, we got them. And, I don't know, 16 games into 28 days. So there's not a lot of practice time in between. And when we did have a practice, it was just basically a walkthrough and some film work and some walkthrough stuff. But yeah, you still have to develop. You still have to get guys better, and give our guys a lot of credit. Bonga was another prime example. Troy was prior to that. Come in and the conditioning is always the concern, but they've done a good job with our group to stay in shape and be ready. You can't perform if you're not in the shape and you're not ready and not touching the basketball and continue to stay focused and sharp. And it's hard. It's a mental exercise as well as a physical. And that's what they're here because they're mentally tough and obviously have the physical skills, but they can't waste days if they're not in the rotation.
And I don't know if we've asked you about this yet, but what did it mean to you to get your 500th career victory as a head coach?
Yeah, I didn't even know. That wasn't on my radar. I didn't even know. So obviously, been in the league for a long time. I can just remember I wanted to accomplish two things when I was a young basketball dreamer, like a lot of people do at teenage years, is somehow get into an NBA warm-up line and meet Dr. J, my hero. And I was able to do both of them, and even this year we won on Dr. J's birthday. We beat the Lakers on February 22nd. It's just, he was my hero, and I've been able to accomplish those two things. And not that I'm saying everything else is icing on the cake, but I feel like, I've done a lot of good things because I had a lot of good people helping me along the way. And I've been inspired by my mom and my high school coach, and both are no longer with us, but they've been inspiration to me, and getting 500 wins is a big part of their helping me develop as a person, as a player, as a coach. And if you didn't have all the players and coaches that I've had, you'd never get to 500. And, hopefully we can get more, and a lot more.
Ava.
Scott, you're making things all sentimental pregame here.
I know, man, you bring that up.
That was a great answer. I have a much less inspiring question, but
I knew Chase was going to ask me that. I just knew it. I had it all memorized.
I'm just wondering, with this last couple games before the All-Star break, if you ever feel like you have to guard against you guys either or losing focus or anything like that. I asked just because Brad kind of hammered home that point the other night where he said we have to make sure we go into these next two games with the exact same approach.
Yeah, I mean, it is real. I mean, it happens. Spring break is in the air, and you have to be focused. And it's hard when this time of the year. We know, I've talked to the guys. We have 2 more games, and they're going to be tough games. They're going to be physical games. Memphis is good. They just beat a team by almost 50 points. That just doesn't happen. You have to be really good and focused to do that. And then obviously we know the Clippers are good. We just saw them last week. So we're going to have to play well, and we have been playing well, but we're going to have to continue with that defensive identity. That's what I liked about last game. That was a back-to-back game, and a couple of things could have gone our way, and we could have won that game. But when things that weren't going for us well in that first quarter, we weren't down, 20. We were still, it was manageable. But we're going to have to really play well tonight and Thursday night, but we want to finish strong before the last 38 games.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Zach.
Hey, Coach. Rui's only gotten to the free throw line twice in the last 4 games. Before that, he was averaging 4 attempts per game. What do you think is the reason for the drop-off?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's been a couple of moments that I like looking at it. I thought he could have been more aggressive, and then there's a couple of times I thought he got fouled, and for some reason you didn't get him. He's not going to get all of them, but I think the more attempts you can get at going to the basket, the better chance you're going to get to the free throw line. So a couple of things. He needs to be more aggressive and absorb that contact and not necessarily sell it, but fight through the physicality that teams will play. And then, like I said, a couple of times, I thought he had a chance to, his catch and goals have been really good, but the last few games, not as good, that it needs to be. But like I said many times, that this is all new. He's still developing, still learning the game, how we want to play, but doing a really good job of staying focused. And I like where he's going. He just has to continue to work on his game.
Thank you.
Neil.
Hey, Scott, I saw you having a conversation with Denny pregame. What was the takeaway you wanted him to come away with?
Where were you? You're in the building?
Yeah.
Wow.
Come say hi next time.
Wave to me next time. You want the entire conversation? I have it taped.
Sure.
Hold on. I erased it. I like Danny. I like the fact that he competes. I like the fact that he's going to continue to battle. He played only 7 minutes last game. That's rare. It hasn't happened this game to play, that low of minutes, single digit. This is not normal. I just said it's normal to have some good moments and some tough moments. Every single player in this league I don't know. I'm sure Michael had a bad couple of games in his rookie year. But every player, Russell, I coached him in his rookie year. He's had a handful, if not more than double digits in 20 games out of the 82 that he played. But Denny's going to be a good player. And, he's like I told everybody this year, this isn't for all the rookies in the league. It's never happened where you had no training or no summer league, really no training camp. And then, with the safety protocol, he missed 3 weeks in the middle of a season. That's hard to overcome. And I just told him I'm proud of him because he's overcome it and he's going to get through it. And he's going to continue to develop and continue to get better as the season goes on. I don't know if the rookie wall is there, but I mean, it could be there, but definitely the safety protocol wall is there for all of our guys. Some guys are taking longer to get out of it than others, but Denny's going to be fine. And I love him, or his teammates love him. And the reason why I know that's a fact, because they get on him. Russell and Brad they push him. And if they didn't think he was good, trust me, I've been on teams where the best players don't say a word to guys that can't play because they know that they're just wasting words. But they know that this kid's going to be really good this year and he's going to even be better as the seasons go on in his career. That's basically what I told him, that I like what he's going through. He's physically tough, but he's mentally tough to come over here. I couldn't go over, he just turned 20 last month in January. I couldn't go to another country there. I couldn't even stay at TCU for more than a year. I had to transfer back home to California.
Matt?
Hey, Scott. When you guys are starting to turn this around, a couple of your players mentioned this idea of not letting the losing kind of get in and sink in. I was wondering.
I lost that part. Letting the what?
Not letting the losing sink in, kind of adopting a loser mentality, that sort of stuff. I mean, were you kind of worried about that at all, or did you kind of have to coach your guys to avoid that, or how did you kind of see them resist that loser mentality kind of sinking?
Well, I mean, we were losing games, but we weren't losers. And I've been on teams as a player, and we didn't have the right winning spirit. We had it. I was more worried about COVID. I was more worried about things like that than losing games. I know once we get in our swing of things and get our roster healthy and get it going, I feel sick to my stomach that, Thomas Bryant situation happened. That makes me just sick because he was on his way to really having a good year for us. But we were losing games, not because we were not a good team. We were losing games because we weren't, fully ready to compete at this level that it takes. But I mean, we're not where we need to be right now. We're still going to continue to get better. We got 2 games before we can rest and relax for 3 or 4 days and come back. The schedule is going to be hard for everybody. We have a lot of back-to-backs, but like I've said, when we got back going into San Antonio, we need games, and I don't care how they're going to come. I don't care how many are going to come at us. We just need games with a healthy team, and I'm glad we have a healthy team now.
You've been on teams that have started slow and then turned things around as the years gone on. But I mean, does this feel different with the unit, I guess, because of the unpredictability of COVID? I mean, how does it kind of feel compared to past years where you started to really get into a rhythm and turn things around?
Well, if we continue to play together and play hard and play well and win some games, this will be very satisfying, because even though I don't prepare for injuries, you kind of know that, that's part of the game. But I didn't prepare for what this was going to happen. I didn't know how to prepare. But I relied on a lot of our smart people and good coaches and good players to help us all through it. Because you don't want to come back after missing 3 weeks and jump in and be ready to go, because those are the soft tissue injuries. Those are the, bad injuries that can potentially happen. But I'm proud of how we bounced back, but we still got to keep bouncing. And And our veterans are going to keep pushing our team, and I'm going to keep encouraging our guys to keep focusing on each other, and let's get through this, and let's have a great finish. And we still got, told the guys today, we got 40 games to go. We got 19 losses. The fourth seed has 17 losses. There's a lot of room to grow in our team, a lot of development that can take place individually and collectively as a group. So that's exciting for me. I can't wait for the second half of the season after these last two games.
Quentin?
Hey, Coach, this season, we've just heard a lot about Rui guarding 1 through 5. That's something that you've said that Russell Westbrook and Brad have instilled that principle, I guess, in him as well. What do you think the biggest, I guess, improvement Rui can make on the defensive end to consistently guard positions 1 through 5 all season long and, times beyond this season?
I think it's like you gotta be able to, that computer, that defensive mind that you need to have, that computer system that we all have, he has to be able to change instantly on different players that he's going to be guarding. Because like I said, Brad and Russell, they say it all the time, he can guard 1 through 5. So if you're switching off on a big, you got to know that big strength. If you're switching off on a guard, you got to know what that guard or a wing player or a point guard, you got to know all their strengths. And our point guards, don't have to do that. I mean, Russell can guard a lot of bigs as well. I mean, and Brad can guard a lot of bigger players as well. And we're getting better because I think the knowledge and the experience that we're going through together, we've gotten better in the last 15 games defensively. And it's not a coincidence that we've played better and we've won more games, but it also helps that we've been together and we've been healthy for an extended period of time. But Rui, he's going to have to continue to know the personnel. And that's, like I said, he's not even it hasn't even finished his 82nd game of a normal rookie year. I think he's close, but I think he's going to continue to learn the personnel and all the tendencies that the 435 other players have in the league, that he's going to have to know that very well.
And a quick follow-up question. What has been or was your focus in film study heading into this matchup against the Memphis Grizzlies?
We got to get back in transition. This is the dynamic paint points. They get the paint touches, and scoring the paint is 56 points a game. And that's about half of their points. So we have to be able to guard that, and we got to get back in transition. They got some really good players, and their big is good, and he gobbles up a lot of space. Mo's going to have to meet him early because he loves to get those deep catch paint touches, and he has a great shot fake. And they got a good blend of good experienced players and good young players that are going to continue to grow together.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
Take the last question from Chris Miller.
Hey, Scotty, today is the 59-year anniversary of Wilt's 100. I know you were 15 at the time. What do you do you think anybody will ever score 100 in this league with scoring being up the way it is?
Never. I mean, what Kobe did at 81, I remember watching that. I was in awe. But no, I don't see that ever happening. I don't know. I mean, what Wilt did is mind-boggling. I think he averaged like 50 and 32, like as a second-year player. Just his numbers and his stats are just incredible. I mean, no, I don't see it. But yeah, I'm like the 173,000 people that were at that game and watched.
Yeah, the 4,124 that was actually there, right?
And everybody, I was there. Okay, there was only 4,000. Yeah, but no, that's incredible. I mean, I don't care when did it then. People say, well, he did it then and nobody was, tall. No, that's still, if it was that easy, other people would have done it back then as well.
Thanks, Scotty.
Yep.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.